Hey guys, how's it going, dude? Here I'm back with another video. In today's video, well, basically, you know that I love my horror movies, and this time last year I actually did a, what horror movies to watch on Netflix around Halloween, and I thought, you know what, that's a lot of fun, and it, it gives you guys some suggestions. A lot of the comments was like, I've never seen this movie, and I watched it because you said to watch it, and that was really good. So, if one of you out there picks up one of these movies and thoroughly enjoys it, and you hadn't seen it before, then happy days. So we're going to go into 5 movies to watch that are on Netflix right now for Halloween. There is a mixed bunch of kind of like genres within horror. Before we do that, if I could just give a shout out to my patron of the day, and the patron is Ryan Parker. So Ryan, thank you so much for being a patron. Thank you to all my patrons, and if you would like to become a patron and support this channel, you can do it for as little as £1 a month. That is linked down below. Okay, let's jump into these 5 horror movies. Okay, so the first one, right, and this is the only one that I've done this for. This is like a punt, to be honest, because I haven't seen this movie, but it looks like it would be good fun, and it looks lighthearted. It looks like a kind of comedy-esque type movie, and I feel like if you're to watch all 5 of the movies on this list, you're gonna need this to kind of, relieve your mind. It's a bit like if you ever played like a really scary game where you've watched a really scary movie or something, and then you kind of go on YouTube and type in cute kittens or cute puppies, or and you kind of look at them just to kind of dispel the horror from your mind. So think of this movie as like maybe a palate cleanser from the scary horror. So this movie is The Curse of Bridge Hollow. From what I can gauge from the trailer, the synopsis is a family moves into a new town, neighbours are all very weird and are super into Halloween. The father of the family is a science teacher and doesn't buy into all the nonsense. The house they have moved into is haunted, and upon exploring the attic, the daughter stumbles across an old box with a lantern inside. When the lantern is lit, it brings all of the Halloween decorations to life, including the likes of killer clowns and zombies. The family and the town have to fight for survival. I haven't seen it, but it is #1 on Netflix right now for movies. I will definitely be watching it the week of Halloween, which is, in my mind, next week, even though Halloween is technically on the Monday the week after, but my Halloween is next week, so stay tuned for that. But it's like literally a Halloween movie. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a scary movie to watch on Halloween. This is a movie about Halloween, so I kind of figured, it makes sense to, watch it, really. So there we go. That is number 5 on this list. It's The Curse of Bridge Hollow. I haven't actually seen it, so this is a bit of a kind of taking liberties, I guess, with a list like this, but the trailer has got me intrigued. Okay, this next movie I've seen many times. It is very creepy. It has an amazing kind of aesthetic. It has an amazing tone, and it's a young Johnny Depp in Sleepy Hollow. Set in 1799, Sleepy Hollow is based on Washington Irving's classic tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Faithful to the dreamy, custom-bound world that Irving paints in his story, the film mixes horror, fantasy, and romance, and features an extraordinary cast of characters that dabble in the supernatural. Headed up by Johnny Depp in his younger years, this movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. A police constable is dispatched to the upstate Dutch hamlet of Sleepy Hollow to investigate a string of murders via decapitation. The very skeptical and incredibly evidence-based police officer is shocked when the locals blame the murders on an undead headless rider of a black steed in constant search of his own missing head. It is a very creepy movie. It's very well acted. The story is fantastic, and it was nominated for so many awards and won a load of awards when it came out as well. If you haven't seen Sleepy Hollow, go on Netflix, okay, and watch it this Halloween. It's an amazing movie, and it's especially amazing if you watch it around this time of year. Okay, number 3 is 1408, Room 1408. It's a Stephen King thriller, and I don't know what was going on in my life when I was 12, 13, but this movie fucked me up. Like, if there's like a movie from your past that you saw when you were too young and it done you in, I know a lot of people, it's Sixth Sense and movies like that. For me, this is that movie, okay? It's 1408. It's very scary. It's very creepy. It's a haunted hotel and all the rest of it. I don't know if I was going through some stuff, puberty for one, but that's bad. That was a bad time. You know what I mean? Like, this movie done me in. But since watching it again as an adult, I can really appreciate it, you know, and the movie that it is. But yeah, it took me many years to revisit this one. But that's obviously just personal to me. But what's it about? So it's a Stephen King thriller. A writer and paranormal debunker goes around to haunted locations working out how they are faking the paranormal. He bites off way more than he can chew when he checks into the infamous room 1408 at the Dolphin Hotel. The hotel manager, played by Samuel L. Jackson, warns him time and time again, pleading with him to not stay in that room because of the amount of supernatural activity and deaths in all manner of horrific ways. However, convinced it's all a ruse to shit him up, he goes ahead and stays in room 1408, and he has the night from hell. This is a great movie. Incredibly disturbing, and something that I highly recommend. It's a Stephen King adaptation, one of the best in my opinion, and you should definitely give it a watch this Halloween. Number 2. Thinking about going backpacking? Thinking about going across Europe, maybe? I wouldn't recommend watching this movie then, if you're doing that. But if you're not, and you want to, you know, have a different kind of spook this Halloween, more gore-orientated, then I highly recommend Hostel. It's literally like torture porn extravaganza. So a couple of Americans go backpacking to Europe in the hope to have fun, get drunk, do drugs, and meet girls. When they arrive at their hostel, they are greeted by some very sexy ladies, but are they all that they appear? Nope, they are actually planted to get people kidnapped and taken to a warehouse where the rich pay insane amounts of money to torture backpackers. It is brutal, visceral, and incredibly graphic. It will have you thinking twice about spending a night in a hostel, and it will certainly make you grimace and look away from the screen. Do not watch when you are eating is all I can say. Overall, it is an incredibly entertaining film. It's not the most amazing acting in the build-up, I would say, but, you know, when things start getting a bit slicey, then, I feel like the movie really comes into its own. Like everything on this list, would you believe it, I highly recommend to watch it this Halloween. So enjoy Hostel. And then at number 1, we have a movie that I didn't see until maybe last year, maybe the year before, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I've done like tier lists before where this movie has been on them, and the movie that I have at number 1 to watch this Halloween is Deliver Us from Evil. As a veteran member of South Bronx Precinct, NYPD Sergeant Ralph Sarchi, played by Eric Banner, has seen more than his fair share of dark and horrifying events, so many that they have begun to poison his soul. Sarchi further finds his beliefs and understanding pushed to the limit when he and his partner investigate a particularly bizarre incident. He forms an alliance with a renegade priest, played by Edgar Ramirez, who tries to convince Sarchi that real evil and demons do exist. This movie is apparently based on true events, and now I know that filmmakers do take liberties when it comes to that line, but in all honesty I hope there's not too much of this is based on true events, because if it is, then that is utterly terrifying. It is an amazing demonic movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have to say, as an outstanding performance by Sean Harris. This is my number 1 recommendation to watch this Halloween. So there we go, guys. What did you think of my suggestions? If you do go on to watch them, please do let me know what you think. Have you already seen them? And do you think that they're scary? Do you think that they're good movies? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Just let me know down below. Do you have any recommendations yourself as to what to watch this Halloween? Let me know down below. As I said earlier, next week I'm going to be doing, if you're watching this as it is released, next week I'll be doing Halloween, where there will be lots of content. I'm doing far more than my regular 2 videos a week next week, all Halloween based. So look forward to that. And yeah, that's about it for today. Fire up Netflix and stick on a scary movie. It's the perfect time of year for it. Okay, thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to become a patron, massive thank you. And I'll see you very soon. Sweet one. Geese.